was
Yep, thank you. Thank you, Uncle John. John. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Devotion Light. We are gathered here today on this day of September 12th, 2023. Let's begin by greeting our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Oh, by the way, Aunt Kathleen's not feeling well today, so I will be emceeing. 천지인 참부모님께 경배. 바로. Now for our family pledge, 가정맹세 1. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 장부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심장권과 3대 왕권과 홍족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 장부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 자녀국 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. And to open us up with prayer this morning, I'd like to invite up Mr. Shivaji Khadka.
Join in prayer. Good morning, our most beloved Heavenly Parent and to parents. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. We, Manhattan Family Church, all pastors and all members, we are gathering for Hunduke. We are so grateful, so we could able to prepare our heart to receive your words, especially our true mother, Memor. And we could share our feeling and we could appreciate each other and create the environment that our second gen, our blessed children can rejoice. That's our Reverend Dunkley, our President Dunkley, the guidance is to my mother's guidance. So we are so grateful this time We really invite all our absolute good spirit and good ancestors joining together with us and celebrate this time, and we can totally offer to you, heavenly parents, and you can feel your sons and daughters really doing great. That kind of feeling we can bring, and then that's our success for this time. We unite our mind and body, centering on this time. This one, okay. Thank you so much, Morning Light. Thank you so much once again. Who could able to gather today, who could not able to do. We really pray each and every one. Thank you so much. I report this prayer on behalf of all my loving brothers and sisters in our name, Sebaji and Harimaya Khadka, Blessed Center family of Sandal Group. Aju. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shivaji. Prayer. So sincere. Wonderful.
Thank
Let's
you
now
so
go in. Yeah. Okay, let's go into our breakout rooms now and share our appreciations with one another. Come back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your breakouts. I certainly did. I was with Dr. Sonnenborn and with Aunt Michelle. And now I'd like to invite Aunt Michelle, if you could say something. Share a little bit.
Reverend Milan Stephen, you put me on the spot. All right.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
All right. Anyway, I was sharing that I'm grateful to feel healthy and young, and I attribute that to Heavenly Parent and True Parents' blessing to give me the opportunity to work with children. I discover the richness and the greatness of children day by day, more and more. But that's an amazing blessing that I am uncovering, the beauty and the greatness of children, and I think it will never stop. The discovery will never stop. So I am grateful that, to me, this is a secret of staying young, and encouragement to it's a great encouragement, and it's a fountain of discovery. Children are teaching me. That's my gratitude today.
Aren't you? Yes, they are the children of God, the peacemakers for sure. Yeah, it's a blessing. Yeah, I like to bring my baby around everywhere and make a statement. I think this is the best form of health and exercise. Yeah, for your soul. So it's amazing. I walk around Harlem with the baby all the time, and people are like, "Oh, look at the baby," and it just spreads blessing everywhere. Really, truly. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, family, we're going to begin our Godable reading now. So sit back and I'm not going to say relax. You should be focused. But enjoy.
Welcome to Mother of Peace, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. A memoir by Hak Jahan Moon, a production of the Washington Times Global Media Group, narrated by Alison Hiroto. For the salvation of all humankind and realization of a world of peace, I determined myself and declared before Father Moon that I would rise to the position of the true parent. I accepted Father Moon as the only begotten Son for the accomplishment of our Heavenly Parent's will. It was God's call to me to become the Heavenly Bride and the Mother of the universe. I knew that my path would be unimaginably difficult, yet I pledged I would live for God and absolutely fulfill my mission to save the world. I pledged before God and Father Moon, no matter how difficult the path may be, I will complete God's providence of restoration during my lifetime. And then I pledged one more time, I will do whatever it takes to fulfill our Heavenly Parent's will. I have defined and lived my life with that commitment. The course of human events is often unpredictable. Church members were so astonished when the news spread that Father Moon had chosen Hak Jahan, that 17-year-old nursing student, to be his bride. Some people thought it was a false rumor. Some were taken aback. Some rejoiced. Others were jealous. I remembered Father Moon's words from 4 years before. You will need to make sacrifices in the future. And I knew that each day was going to be a learning experience concerning what that meant. When my maternal grandmother's ancestor, Jo Han-jun, showed sincere loyalty and devotion to his country, he received the revelation, I will send to your lineage the Princess of God. In return for my ancestors' devotion, his sacrifice with no desire for recognition, God chose our family to exemplify the tradition of loyalty and filial piety. My mother was born to my grandmother, who had deep piety, and I was born to my mother. I trace God's will to send to the world his only begotten daughter, which has borne fruit through me, back to my ancestor, Johanjun. To fulfill my mission as God's only begotten daughter, I have a firm belief and unflinching will for the sake of every nation, every religion, every race. Going beyond all fallen world boundaries, I am called to reconcile nations and races with benevolence and love. I am called to be like the ocean that accepts and absorbs the waters of all rivers, big and small alike. Embodying our God, who is our Heavenly Mother as well as Heavenly Father, I am called to embrace all who are lost and have no one to receive them, with the heart of a parent. I set these things in my flesh and blood, in my beating heart, and have not for 1 second forgotten the will that God entrusted to me. 60 years have passed since our holy wedding, and my husband is not now with us physically. More than ever, no matter what my age or physical condition may be, my beating heart drives me forward on the path to become the mother of the universe and the mother of peace. One in mind, one in body, one in heart, and one in harmony with the one who guides the providence. Our holy wedding ceremony. Jesus was born to humankind 2,000 years ago. God intended that Jesus find his bride and that they would stand in the position of Adam and Eve, who were lost at the very beginning of human history. Together, Jesus and his bride were to have grown to attain the position of true parents, providing living examples of a true husband and wife, parents, and family. However, God's hope for Jesus and Israel was not realized. The Lord went to a secondary course, dying for us on the cross. We cannot imagine how devastated he must have been. When Jesus returns, his priority is to find the bride, with whom he will create a true family, society, nation, and world. Through the true parents, the sorrows of heaven and earth can be alleviated, and the victorious foundation for God's ideal world can be laid. In this providence, the prophesied marriage supper of the Lamb, the day of our holy wedding, was the turning point, the day when God won his victory and recovered his lost glory. Furthermore, this was a day of joy for humankind, as it inaugurated a new history in which all can live together, not only with their true father, but also with their true mother. At the age of 15, Sun Myung Moon received his mission from Jesus Christ on Mount Myodu. It was a mission that would bring him severe hardship. It led him to study in Japan and to teach God's word in North Korea after Korea's independence, where he would face life-threatening hardships and unspeakable suffering. Communist Party officials and police cruelly tortured him to the brink of death. Tossed out as a lifeless body, he revived and continued his mission, only to be arrested once again and sent to a forced labor camp near the city of Hungnam. It was only the arrival of UN troops that saved him from execution there. With 2 of his followers, he headed south to begin his ministry again. Amid the clash of communist soldiers and UN troops, they were among the last to cross the frozen Imjin River into South Korea. And from there, they walked hundreds of kilometers to the southern part of the peninsula. After planting his church in Busan, he settled in Seoul. Yet his trials continued, and once again he was imprisoned, this time by the South Korean government. This course of hardships, during which time he relentlessly focused on teaching many new members about God and the mission of the Messiah, was the course he had to pass through to meet the only begotten daughter prepared by God and to hold the marriage supper of the Lamb. Members of the early Unification Church endured bitter ordeals together with Father Moon. As the year 1960 approached, they were filled with indescribable hope. Father Moon was turning 40, and he had prophesied that this would be the year of the holy wedding of God's first son and daughter, the only begotten son and only begotten daughter. And that promise was fulfilled. At the Chongpa-dong Church, at 4 a.m. on March 27th, 1960, the first day of the third lunar month, when spring was in full bloom, Father Moon and I held our historic engagement ceremony. We had invited 40 men and 40 women to witness the ceremony, but members wishing to see us had come in great numbers, and the small church was packed to overflowing. The engagement ceremony, held in 2 parts, was conducted in a holy atmosphere. It concluded with Father Moon's benediction, reporting the profound meaning of the ceremony to heaven and earth. The 6,000-year history of humankind, he prayed, was the anguished course necessary to receive the true parents. That Jesus could not become the true parent was the sorrow of all people. But the day of our engagement ceremony was the blessed day that finally relieved that sorrow. 15 days after the engagement ceremony, at 10 a.m. on April 11th, 1960, the 16th day of the 3rd month by the lunar calendar, we conducted the holy wedding. 700 or so members chosen from our churches across Korea gathered at Chongpa-dong Church to attend this splendid event, long awaited by our Heavenly Parent. Because even more members flocked to attend the holy wedding than the engagement ceremony, the church was overflowing, and those who could not enter the building filled the alleyway beside it. The atmosphere was nonetheless solemn and reverent. The small chapel of the church was decorated beautifully and meaningfully for the occasion. The walls and floors were covered with white cloth, and a platform was set up to the left of the door. Dressed in a long white skirt and top, with a long veil covering my head, I walked down the stairs from the 2nd floor, arm in arm with the bridegroom, as members sang a holy song, Song of the Banquet. All in attendance warmly welcomed us, and the holy wedding ceremony thus commenced. The first ceremony of the holy wedding was held in Western-style clothing, and the second ceremony was held in traditional Korean-style clothing, complete with robes and headdresses.
Thank you for listening to Godable.
Thank you, God, for parents, for these words today. The theme I was getting was the preparation. There's so much preparation and sacrifice that's required before somebody can receive the blessing, receive the greatest gifts from God. You know, like a pearl. The pearl comes from years and years of sand, something hard and being churned up inside a clam for a long time. So there's just years and years of difficulty kind of produces the most beautiful things, like diamonds, right, that are under incredible pressure. So are we, members who've been following True Parents for such a long time, and I think we're the most precious people on earth. And so for those who could meet true father, meet true mother, how much of they must have had to pay to receive that greatest blessing of all. You know, at a wedding, people often cry, I believe, because when you think about how much they've been through, each of them, the lonely course that they had to walk until finally they meet the person that can commit eternal marriage to. That to me is that's what moves me to tears. You know, like when you had Reverend Josh and his commitment ceremony, what moved me the most was just seeing his baby pictures, seeing him grow up, and seeing what it was like to be without a father and to continue on his life and to survive all the loneliness and then finally be united with someone that he can love. So that's what moves me, and this is what I felt the theme was for today. There it is. You will need to make sacrifices in the future. This is the clear word from true father to mother that this is not a prize. This is not an award. That this is you'll make the most sacrifices of all. Of course, you'll also be blessed just as much, but yeah, that's just giving you a fair warning. The mother peace, one in mind, one in body, one in heart, and one in harmony with the one who guides the providence. Here's the thing, though. The one, heavenly parent, has suffered the most, has felt the greatest pain, of course, the greatest joys as well, but the greatest pain. So to be one in heart, one in mind, body, and heart with God is asking for the greatest pain. So mother was preparing herself for that. So this is the course. She reminds them of what true father faced. Of course, she didn't go into much detail about Hungnam prison and Saldaemun prison. She didn't go into much detail there, but the point is that even true father had to suffer so much to meet true mother. And you can imagine how joyful God must have been to see his true son and daughter come together. Of course, with all the pain that God experienced, all the suffering that father had experienced, and what mother was preparing herself for, but she'd already, even 17 years, had suffered so much, has seen so much pain, and was prepared to heal everybody. And then, of course, God himself. 6,000-year history of humankind, he prayed, was the anguished course necessary to receive the true parents. That even God had to suffer, had to sacrifice the 6,000 biblical years to receive true parents finally. So this is the story of God. This is our story. So please remember, whenever you're feeling suffering and sacrifices that you feel like you cannot continue on, just remember that God is right there with you. As Dr. Young liked to say, when your Han meets God's Han, that is the kingdom of heaven. Of course, that all should lead to peace and joy and happiness. So be prepared for that too. Okay. Also, that's true. When the time comes for you to experience joy, please experience joy. Please share in that. Declare the victory. Celebrate together. That's important too. Everything we sacrifice for is for something. So, all right, let's go into our breakout rooms, share our reflections on today. Come back soon. Thank you. Love you. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your breakout rooms, found some inspiration there. I did, so let me invite up Mama Ray Beth. Mama May, if you would. Share. I know your camera is not on, that's fine. Just
Yeah. We were saying that it was old in terms of preparation, that actually Reverend Milhon had said as mother saw the Han Bridge fall when she was 7, that's when she really said yes then, because that was, she said there has to be an end to war and somebody has to do it. And anytime you say that somebody should do something, that somebody is always you.
mhm.
So, you know, but we were talking the other day where her ancestor had given everything. And then God said, well, I was going to send the Prince of Heaven, but then I'm going to send the princess. So in our breakout point of room, that meant that the princess was even better. Other people said, oh, that meant it was less, but we said, no, it seemed to us that meant princess, because he gave everything down to the last penny, even to give honor, then God could send the princess of heaven to the lineage. So it's an interesting way to look, which is, it's not like one is better than the other. They're both together, they're two parents. And then we were saying that it's not just one yes. If you could just say yes once, it would be easy, but you have to say yes every moment. And how many millions of times do true parents have to say yes to one more thing on into eternity? Yeah, and we're honored to be part of the yes.
Yeah, we're in the yes club. We did it. I'm sure for each of us too, how many seconds we had to tell God, yes, I will continue. I will. Yes. Yes, I will. Yeah, this is 7-year-old. It's true though. I'm sure many of us had a prayer with God at one point, and we made a promise to God of some kind. And you better believe God's gonna remember, because you're all God has in the end anyway. So we may not look like much, but we're it, folks. And so buckle up and don't fall off the roller coaster before it's over. That's all I gotta say. And Mama Jean also shared something about how your mother is so prepared. She's been through the fires, and you have this pure daughter, like a second generation. I think mother is a third generation, frankly. When I see my own kids, I see more resemblance, I think, than myself even. Your mother really does come from, she's a third generation for sure. Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna start our, well, I guess before we do our unison prayer, can we have any special prayer requests for today? Going once.
I just want to mention in my experience, second gen are all very sweet, and third gen are powerful.
Oh wow, powerful, sweet, super sweet. Yeah, powerful for sure. Yeah, my daughter is so loud. My baby, she's always just yelling in the streets. You know, people turn their heads when she's yelling so loud. And I'm like, oh, look at us. Yeah.
She wants to witness.
Yeah, let people know that God is love. That's it. And when I look at her eyes, I feel like God's security cameras are looking back at me. You know, just looking at me in the purest, most admirable way. You know, that's God. Makes you Oh yeah, go ahead.
One thing, sir. I was fortunate enough to speak to Reverend Dunkley after his amazing speech on Sunday. I saw him. I was in an elevator, and I was thanking him so much and I understood so much from it. So what I wanted to add prayer for was for our youth, because they are definitely our future, for all the second gen, third generations, all the children out there that we have to, change the narrative for, so that they can really be our, longevity to be able to create the new world through our teachings, and we can't fail them. So let's just pray for our youth today, so that they can be our message, so that we can really, depend on them, teach them and cure them of their satanic illnesses, so that they can become, our lifeline in the future. So thank you.
Not you.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get their names. Like Mother said, just pray for them every day.
Definitely.
When there's nothing else you can do. But yes, there are some other youth, like younger youth, that we should be engaging better. So I have some ideas. All right, let's begin our unison prayer. Jack.
Most beloved Heavenly Father,
Dear parents, for each one of my brothers and sisters here, for Joel,
Heavenly Parents,
and
Father,
for
teaching of your words, Father,
Dal,
and
and also for Therese,
life, Father,
Salabor, for Alfonso, all the amazing things that here this morning with Reverend Milha, True Mother's memoir, and Reverend Milha saying that True Mother is the third gen. It's really true. I can see that. And she is the security camera looking at us.
Spend some time together.
Thoroughly gracious Heavenly Parent and her ancestor preparing for that. I'm grateful, Father, for this community to be able to digest, Father, what we're experiencing.
Understand.
So Emil said, let's go,
Kind of high
don't fall
realms
off the
that we're in
wagon.
right
It's the one big thing.
There's all kinds of
Come off the
challenges.
boat.
Pure, innocent
What you can see
sons
of
and daughters.
move forward together as brothers and sisters. We can support each other through prayer, for the illnesses, for the
That we are
peace,
ones that
bosses, for the maids,
are to spread our wings.
for the Carreras, Powers, Housekeys, Melissa's family,
Let people see our divinity, God.
Secas, Miles, the Valentines, Okay, Walker Amos family, and the Sook family, Say family. Great Father for each one of my brothers and sisters, for the Whites, for the Gwenzas, Ismack's family, for the Moors, those you more, Father, for the Bloods also, for the All family, parent to pray for each one of my brothers and sisters, for Thomas Moore, well, no, Toshe Tom, Robert Moore, Father, I pray for each one of them. Father, their hearts are sad.
Figure.
Connected hearts.
Checking in with
Hearts. I want to thank you, Father, for Jesus and Dr. Young, who explained about
it's clear.
the yoke, the light. Take up the yoke, we must. We must take up the yoke, Father. There's no other choice. As Ray Beth said, it's usually going to do it. It's
Give it to us.
I want to thank each one of my insights. And help yesterday commemorate, Father, the fires of 9/11 that died later from injuries and listening, Father, from cancer that
material things.
Father, by all the toxins
You do have to
Paul, look what day.
find out value, but
People on the
our
people
value
read the
is our
names of the
resurrection of
passed away that day, Father, in a very miserable circumstances and addicts, Father, for the world to see. To see also the volunteerism, Father, simple spirit, Father, that
all the
millions have.
be attached to the right
how
Strength, Father, of a true Christian. The history of
Adam and about
Christianity
sword, Father.
with
His
people like
life
that. Rise to the occasion. Nobody knows about.
Our
So let
Father,
us
I
change
want
the
to thank you
narrative,
for
parents
my
Father,
brothers and
and help
sisters
see
who are on the
Father.
foundation of these sisters, Father. We don't
Love
know.
him
It's
in the
better when we don't
now,
know
Father.
pray for our
what
city,
When
happened,
we come
Lord.
about,
because we would be
we
intimidated and
make a
say,
situation
would never be able to do this.
create a
But it's
scenario where we
exactly
make
true.
this, Father,
And parent, Father,
known
that
for our
each one of us
We
has
have
his incredible ancestors.
felt in so many times.
Allow us, Father, to
back
be here with the true fire and the
safe
Father of heaven to come
from
upon
him
this
that
world.
will
Whatever ever
remain
done
heaven, Father.
Jesus and
Bless him
survive
and give him
with
your
Jesus and
legacy.
actually accept him.
Lead him, Heavenly Father.
It's
Trials
so
are there.
difficult. And for the
One of
last moment,
the young people out there
beat him.
for help.
Had to find
Show them the
somebody,
way.
the thief on the right,
I lead
only
by
one who
example,
something
and
vile on earth. What an
see
miserable
spirit
spirit.
and their
They
heart
There were many people afterwards that
create
accepted him.
Father.
Greater
God,
price and greater indemnification, Father, by giving their lives.
God, we have to be grateful.
That's your
Humble
word.
ourselves.
Father, set your heart friend.
The
Look, we
world,
are paying the price, Father, for today's day.
God, I pray
Many
that
of
we can
us have
find our voice.
All belong all in the
lessened in the condition
bless them.
of being baptized and
Gives us help in
receiving the Holy Communion.
tonight. Just call
For this moment,
going to work.
we have an
God,
They're
is
doing.
love.
be with our true parents.
We also pray, Father,
Not only are we
Everything we've got.
placing, not restoring, vindicating Jesus,
the opportunity to be a part of
vindicating,
this,
Father,
Father.
you, for the creation of the universe, Father.
We learn
Adam and Eve fell, Father, including Adam and Eve, you made us, Father. Even though that's the most difficult thing, because
be a part
you even couldn't deal with the Adam
Whatever
directly.
is possible around us,
Have
we
to
put an end
deliberate
to
him
it.
or to work
The
with
rest
him.
of
We
it,
have
right?
to
for your
choose
word, Father.
Cain and Abel, Father.
Many
Before you're able to
mishaps,
directly
Father.
work with your
clergy
son and
together.
It can
daughter
be a wonderful
in the
day.
world on earth. Forefather for the second and third generation.
Within your name.
Fourth generation is coming out.
I pray for everybody
It's a description
from us
also of uh,
from
the
FNU
way that was
Lift it
described.
up for us.
Generation is very
Continue to
sweet.
do for us.
Third generation is very
Unwavering.
powerful. You can see that also that parents can experience together, help them, Father, to make the way, especially for all brothers and sisters here, the ones that didn't make it today,
Do
Father,
things in
to
my name and not
migraines and
selfish intentions.
various other brothers and sisters, watchers, today, especially for Katie in China. She also can be awakened in her heart, Father. Realize how sweet she is, how loud actually she is, even though she's very, very shy and very quiet. Has a powerful spirit. Pray, Father, for her to be revived, even with the injury that she received during the accident, Father, that she cannot injure her life. But take that injury, Father, make her stronger after that.
Jew. Oh gosh. Thank you all so much for your prayers. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze attack right now. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Only announcement is gosh. Oh, that's embarrassing. Okay.
Bless you.
The only announcement is be blessed. We have service this Sunday. Reverend Josh will be preaching, and as I like to remind you, 51 Plus is coming October 7th. Please invite people to that, or ask people to invite people to that.
So sorry, I missed that. What is coming up?
51 plus. So this is 51 plus Connect. This is a matching
Okay.
preparation for our older members. Yeah, it should be good. Should always be good. Uncle Christian is helping organize that. Let's support. Okay, thank you all so much for today. God bless you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Kathleen's better by tomorrow.
Thank you. Have a good
Have a
day,
wonderful day.
everyone. Have a nice
Bye.
week.
Bye. Have